Hello again, fellow LEGO enthusiasts, welcome back. Today in this video, I'm going to show you why this Ultimate Collector Series Razor Crest is one of the best Ultimate Collector Series LEGO has ever produced. But before we get into that, if you wouldn't mind giving the like and subscribe button a little tickle, it'd really help out, I really appreciate it. But with that out of the way, let's get straight into this. Starting off with the box, this does come in the classic 18 plus black box, which I am not a fan of, not very exciting, but this set is where it's done well because inside you find beautiful artwork on the interior boxes, very reminiscent of the concept art that's shown at the end credits of every episode of The Mandalorian, which I absolutely just love it, beautiful. And getting inside, we are greeted with 4 instruction booklets split amongst the 2 boxes and 36 bags. They're both split evenly between the 2 boxes. But let's talk about the minifigures quickly. I think when I first saw Din Djarin just like on the website for this, kind of boring. But after seeing it in person with that old weathered down Beskar, I think it looks great. He's got arm printing, very nice. I don't like to really put the capes on my minifigures. If I can, I like to keep them box fresh, so that's just a weird thing about me. The Mithril looks great. I love his blue head and the print thereupon. His printing on his body's kind of boring. He doesn't have any printing on his leg, but I don't know if he'd benefit from it, honestly. Grogu's standard issue, not really much to talk about, but there is a pram if you're into that sort of thing. Queel is glorious, perhaps the star for me. I love his head mold, it's so good. I think he looks excellent, and I really like the brick build blurg, because let's be honest, this is an expensive set. If they would have put a custom molded one, it probably would have bumped up the price like $15 or $20 realistically. Naturally, the display plate here is stickered. It is one of the last ones to sport the sticker. Let's start off with the build, which is frankly amazing. Generally with massive sets like this, there are parts of the build that are very repetitive. This is not the case here. I did not find anything too repetitive whatsoever. The bodywork is very slightly different on both sides, but you start off building the fuselage with a Technic frame, and immediately you're building an interior along with it. After that, you're working up, building the paneling, and the whole time they're sprinkling you little Easter eggs. Here's a little nugget for you here and there. After that, you start to build some of the back end, get this top tail section going, and then you're doing the massive wings. You don't appreciate how big these are until you see them. Absolutely huge. What can I compare this to? What do you reckon? Butternut squash, maybe a piece. They're chonky, and the build of these is incredible, worthy of a video in and of itself. It is so strong and completely tiled off pretty much. But after that, you build the top, the cockpit, and then the escape pod as well, and the front guns. And then you do your little display plaque. Of course, as is standard issue for Ultimate Collector Series sets, there are precious few stickers in this set, which is very nice. Although one gripe I will say, these stickers on here necessary, but the ones on the side, I think they could have maybe brick built those, which would have been cool. Now, as I briefly mentioned in the build, this thing does have a full interior, and it is awesome. It is so good. And as you're building up the set, you realize how easy it is to get at that interior. You can, for example, open the doors. Look at that, fantastic. But doors are a bit pedestrian, aren't they? So let's get in the God mode way. Beautiful. You can also take this off easily as well, but it doesn't give you any benefit, so there's not much point. Furthermore, on the wings is the escape pod, also detachable. You can pop it off and put a minifigure into, which is so cool. I can't believe they added that in. Totally unnecessary, but awesome. And the interior has tons of Easter eggs. Let's start at the front and move back. The front contains the most detailed cockpit I've ever seen in a LEGO set ever, with tons of, they just used like some of the classic printed small tiles, but they just throw tons of them at it and it looks great. It's also got the little ball that Grogu likes to play with, You can move back, you can lift the whole section out, and you've got the frog lady's eggs, amazing. A nice little rack for Din's rifle. It's like a pulse rifle or something, not sure. And it's got a beautiful door here. I think that's so cool. You can just crack that open. There's even a little spot. That's for the ladder to get down to the main floor. They don't need it. They're minifigures. This isn't Toy Story. They don't come to life and go down to the bottom floor of their Razor Crest. No, no, no. Moving straight below that section, there's a bed along with some wires for Grogu to play with. And moving back, there's a gun rack with a baby on board sticker on it, which is super awesome and I love it. You've also got Boba Fett's armor, which Mando picks up in one of the episodes. Opposite that is the carbon freezing chamber, as well as a beautiful rack where you can store your bounties. You love to see it. And if you move further back from that, there is a rear door to get out. And it's actually amazing. I love the way it works. It's so simple, but it works so well. And I think that is basically it for the features. The door on the side does go all the way through, so there's another one on the other side. And the landing gear is stationary, but it is very strong. And I think I prefer it that way. I wouldn't want it retractable. I don't think they could have made it work. You can easily pop this all back in. We are back. One piece, beautiful. Oh, this thing just looks stunning. Almost completely tiled off, just enough to let you know it's still Lego, with just the right amount of greebling in my opinion. Not like the Millennium Falcon where it's obsessed with this. This is just perfection for me. I think it's close, it's up there. So let's talk final thoughts on this thing. This set is just epic. It is the epitome of what Ultimate Collector Series should be for me. It is megalithic, like it is huge, but not unreasonably so, interestingly enough. This is far easier to display than the Millennium Falcon. Naturally has an unreasonable footprint. It's also a lot easier to display even than the Republic gunship, which also takes up an unreasonable amount of room. Beyond being just massive, the build is not repetitive. It's very engaging throughout. There's a full interior, tons of Easter eggs sprinkled through. The end result is really solid. Again, displays easily, and you can take it apart a little bit to look inside. I mean, it's just perfect. The minifigures, there's not an excessive amount. It's just a few done really well, in my opinion. So for an Ultimate Collector Series set, I would say this is about perfect for me. This really does it. It ticks all the boxes. And I'll be real, I got this on that crazy sale they had on it at lego.com. So amazing price. But even at full retail, I think the value might be there. It's so good. I get that some people would have liked to see it in silver because that's more accurate, but I mean, come on, that's completely unreasonable. It's just not gonna happen. Yeah, I gotta say, this is exactly what I want out of a UCS set. It's perfect for me. What do you think? Let me know your thoughts about this. Crazy overpriced, too big, or you love it just like me? I would love to hear your thoughts and opinion. Let me know down below. But anyways, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope to see you in the next one and have a fantastic day. Goodbye.